Welcome and welcome to episode 23, Shop on the Top. Cannot believe we made it to 23 episodes to our MJ Natty special. My name is William Quapple.
My name is Blake Donald J. Trump Robertson.
Nice. We are so glad we are here again today.
Happy MLK Day.
Yes, yes.
Happy Inauguration Day.
Yep. And most importantly,
The national. No, it's not. I don't know what you're going to say, but it's not more
the
important.
National Championship Gameday.
You know, I ain't gonna go there. But no, it's the third important.
For being a college sports podcast, you would think it was a joke.
Well, it is a joke.
It's sarcasm.
Right. I got you.
Did that joke just go?
No, but I mean, I'm just worried. I'm just keeping it straight or keeping it real. How about that?
Valid.
Make sure everybody thinks. Nobody wants. I don't want anybody to think we think that the national championship is more important than MLK Day and the inauguration day. There's no way.
How was the Swarm game? Yes, we are slightly behind because I did go to the Swarm game today. They won. They beat Grand Rapids 113 to 112.
Well, actually, we're not behind.
Oh, we're not?
At 5 o'clock is when
it's only 20 minutes. But
well,
still.
well, the reason why I also went to the Party Shack today in Greensboro, thanks to Elena Holiday for her hospitality and getting us free tickets. So we got to go in there for free. If you want to take your kids, or if you want to be right now while it's cold, if you like golf, it's a good place to go. Kind of, what's the word? Air out your golf game if you can't play real golf. I mean, right now, nobody's going out in 25-degree weather to play golf, so I recommend the Party Shack on Holden Road in Greensboro. It's a great place to take your kids and play a little bit of golf and get that out of your system.
Yes, especially with the cold weather we've been having. But soon it will be spring.
And we're going to get William Woods out there and play more golf this year than last year.
And I misspoke, it's actually 112 to 111. For some reason.
The whole world is anticipating the stats and scores of the Greensboro Swarm.
I know. The world is watching.
Last wrestling.
No.
Still in
the rookie had oh, my iPad is being dumb.
Look at that shooting percentage.
It was
not playing defense.
That was
not good at 42-87.
42 of 87 shooting. Yeah.
That's a lot of shots.
There was a lot of 3-pointers.
No, that's not a lot for nowadays. And somebody is destroying Williams' house.
The Cats are, yes. Yes, I will have my personal best on the golf course this year. I've been really practicing.
What is your personal best?
1 ball.
Huh?
1 ball. It's the ball I start with. It's the ball I finish with.
Oh, that's okay. I
don't have to go in the woods.
Right.
So when I don't have to go in the woods,
that's a good day.
To either get my ball or cry.
Right. Okay.
But more importantly, tonight's the big night.
The big night.
The Eye from Atlanta, Georgia.
Well.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
How did they get there? Who did they beat to get there?
They beat Indiana. They beat Georgia. And they beat Penn State.
Was that on a 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest, how hard do you think that run was?
I would give it about a 6.
Yeah.
I think Indiana brings it down a little bit.
You think so?
Well, if you think about it, Indiana has only had 2 losses on the year.
I don't want to think about it. Now, if Notre Dame wins tonight, they beat all 3 Big Ten playoff teams.
Yes. And not as a member of the Big Ten.
Right, which I think they'll be.
Norman Yost. No, actually, I don't think they'll ever join a conference now.
I think they will.
Unless the NCAA or the playoff committee, whoever's in charge of that, closes that loophole and makes them join a conference, they're never going to do it.
Which I hope they do.
I'd like to see them in the Big Ten, honestly.
Well, they won't be because everybody's in the SEC in the conference.
Oh yeah, I mean,
They had to change the whole thing just for that football team.
they'd boot someone out to bring in Notre Dame.
What I'm saying is they'd have to change the rest of the school academic teams or athletic teams to go to the Big Ten from the SEC.
Well,
Notre Dame would.
yeah, but still, they're not joining the conference within the next 5 years.
Okay, that's a valid point.
And the only reason they would, they closed that loophole. Beside the point, back to what I was going to say. Indiana, their only 2 losses were on the road to these 2 teams.
Which is interesting, isn't it? That's crazy.
And, everyone's
crazy
like,
how that works out.
They shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have been there.
Well, they earned their right to get there.
They absolutely earned it. And
they only had 1 loss.
I mean, Notre Dame had an ugly loss.
Yeah, but it's still just 1.
Just only counts as 1.
Right. Now it depends on how far you fall and how many upsets there are, and it all worked out for them.
It all worked out in the end. I mean,
remember, it's 12 teams. It's not like we're having a 14 playoff or an 18 playoff.
They would never have made it.
They wouldn't have made it either one of them, right?
I think.
Well, they might have made it in the 8.
As for their competitors out of the Big Ten, the Ohio State University Buckeyes.
I'm going to say who they beat because I know it's pretty painful for you. They beat Tennessee, they beat Oregon, and they beat Texas to get to the National Championship game. Like I said before, like I said with Notre Dame, 10 being the hardest. How hard was that run?
I give it a 9.5.
I give it a 9 too. I think they had to do the Shawn Michaels routine, beat all the best players, the best teams to get to the National Championship game.
Oh yeah, I mean they are hot.
From where they were a month ago or 2 months ago now, I guess they were, to now, I would not have guessed they made a National Championship game.
No.
I didn't have them playing the National Championship game. I had Oregon versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think I had Tennessee and Penn State from the go, but boy, I think looking back, I think everybody knew Notre Dame at least had half a chance.
I agree.
I think going into the playoff, I think there was a lot of people talking about how, they weren't even going to beat Tennessee.
Right.
Or that they didn't deserve the home game against Tennessee. That should have been in Knoxville. Some of us think that more than others, but I digress. They had a tougher road, and not only, but they've done that by beating people and taking names.
Yep, that's exactly right.
They have been putting in a figurative coffin.
If Henderson does not have that unsportsmanlike penalty, I think they blow Texas out last week or the last game. I think because Henderson they had a drive going, and I think they had a first down. I want to say they had a first down, and it was third and short, and the penalty made it 3rd and 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that stifled the drive.
Yeah.
So if they don't have that unsportsmanlike penalty and they go down and score 14-0, that's a big hole to dig out of. So
speaking of the first quarter, we'll get to that. But I just want to say, what an incredible job by Marcus Freeman and Ryan Day.
Oh, Ryan Day was on the hot seat, possibly.
I think, Ryan Day was a loss to Tennessee.
Away from possibly
seeing unemployment, seeing pink.
Well, he would have been easily hired somewhere else pretty quickly.
Oh, he would have been a short-term unemployment, but still unemployment. Right. He would not have lasted in Columbus, that's for sure.
I mean, we don't know that. We don't know. We can't say for sure. But we look at past coaches that couldn't beat Michigan, and what happened to them? They got fired.
Exactly.
He's lucky that the playoffs have changed where it's 12 teams, and he's been allowed to remain on the school when remain in the game and have a chance to win a national championship. And now he pretty much he's coming back next year now.
Well, yeah.
Even without tonight's win.
Oh, absolutely. No, he saved his job after he beat Tennessee.
This will be Ohio State's first Natty in 10 years. It'll be Notre Dame's first Natty since 1988. You do the math.
Yes. 88.
Lou Holtz was the head coach. Tim Brown, I think, was the wide receiver, one of the wide receivers. I don't remember the quarterback was. I think it might have been King.
We're doing math here, people.
Well,
this is not good.
Okay, it's 37 years.
Thank you. It's been almost 40 years since Notre Dame won a national championship.
I bet no one at that point in time would have guessed it would take them 37 more years to win the national
Well, they
championship.
were in the title game in 2012, but
And they
got
were at Boston
absolutely.
College,
Yeah.
missed field goal away from being in it in 93.
Oh yeah. The Holy War. Yep.
And Florida State kind of, I would say it would have been Florida State and Notre Dame again, had it not been for the missed field goal.
In 98?
93.
Oh, 93 probably.
Because I think Nebraska made it because Notre Dame didn't make it.
Yes.
Because Florida State was a great team that year.
Oh yeah.
And the one loss was to Notre Dame. So it's not like they lost to a bad team.
A push, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Nebraska got the push. But I still think I think it should have been Florida State, Notre Dame again. Even with the Boston College loss, but that's just another thing.
Who was Nebraska's loss to?
I can't remember.
Exactly. I mean, but losing to Boston College ain't good. But, and then, they got blown out in 2012 by Alabama. That was an ugly one.
That was an ugly game. But you kind of saw that one coming.
Oh, yeah.
Roll Tide, baby.
No.
Oh, no Roll Tide?
No. Roll Tide. Round the ball, down the hole, Roll Tide, roll. Please tell me you get that.
What did you say last night?
Woo! Yes, as you can tell, our friend Doug is not here today.
Douglas MacArthur did not come in today. He had to work. But he'll be back next week for another episode of Chop on the Top.
And for the Crimson Mask.
And the Crimson Mask.
Yes. No, I think this game, what are your keys to the game as we break this down?
The keys to the game, to me, is the defense. The team that plays against I think Ohio State's defense is smoking hot. They're on the best they play all year right now, which is what you have to be to win a national championship. And Notre Dame's defense has been very solid all year. They've not allowed less than 35 points one game to USC, and then less than 25 points to everybody else the rest of this whole season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they looked great.
I think anytime it is the defense that will decide a championship. And a championship game.
Any game that's going to decide a national championship is a defense going to win championships, it'll absolutely be the defense.
So the answer to the question that we had a minute ago, who did Nebraska lose to in 93? No one. They were undefeated. So actually it was Florida State that got the nod over Notre Dame because of the Boston College loss.
Yes.
And that's why the argument was because back in that time that Notre Dame should have made it because they beat Florida State. But that's where you come in. Boston College, you lost to Boston College. I mean, it's not like you lost to Michigan or you lost to Ohio State or somebody big time in that era. You lost to Boston College at home.
Absolutely.
Not on the road, at home. And that cost them the nod over Florida State.
Absolutely. I mean,
oh, man. So, to me, I think the best quarterback of the two was Riley Leonard and Howard. Who would you say the best quarterback? I would say it's Howard.
I would say Howard.
By a smidge. Because Riley's tough. Riley, if you hit him, he will get back up and go for it.
Riley's tough, and he's also a more mobile quarterback to me.
You think so?
Well, let's stick the numbers.
I'm thinking they're tied. Both of them they run the RPO, but it's not like, we're not talking about Avery Johnson from Kansas State, who runs the RPO, but he runs it most of the time. And then maybe Cam Ward or Shadur, who runs a little. Well, he don't run a little bit. That's not a good example. Well, the Florida State example is Thomas Castellanos or Jordan Travis. He's not a Jordan. They're not Jordan Travis. But they can get it done on the ground. They have to. But you'd rather them not. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no. I mean, he ran all over Georgia.
He ran all over Georgia.
Yeah.
He himself?
Riley Leonard, yeah. He had 80 yards.
I wouldn't say it's all over, but I got you. And then we break down the running backs. If you were, who'd you go with? Judas? What's his name? Jukas?
Something.
Or Love? I'm going Love.
Junkin.
Yeah, I think Love's going to be a higher pick in the draft.
I think I go with Jeremiah Love. I'm just saying this, and I'm not just saying this because I've watched. Again, I've said it before. I've said it again.
You love being a turtle? I thought you were going to do it in the turtle line.
No, I said because I've seen Here Comes the Irish on Peacock.
You see it on the top?
Mercy. Mercy.
All right. Then the wide receiving core. I think that definitely goes Ohio State.
Definitely goes Ohio State.
With Jeremiah Smith and others.
Yes.
The tight ends, I'm saying Notre Dame.
I'll go with Notre Dame.
Yeah, by a smidge. We're not very high on the tight ends for either team. I can think of either of the names, but I think Notre Dame is the one that uses their tight end more than Ohio State does. Offensive line, I think it's a push there. I haven't really noticed anything bad about either one of them, and they don't let the quarterback get smashed either. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
Then the defensive line, that's a pretty tough toss-up. But with Sawyer and those boys, I think we got to give a small tilt toward Ohio State.
Yes.
The linebacking cores, I don't really have anything on either one of them. Do you? So I'm saying even. Secondary.
Maybe a sledge edge to Notre Dame.
You can give that a sledge. Okay. I can agree with that because I don't have a case for either one of them. So I guess we'll go with what William said as a smidge edge to Notre Dame. And then the special teams, I think the special teams are just based on who the best kicker is, and Jeter is on fire.
Yes.
So if it comes down to a kick, I think both teams are pretty safe to say they're going to be pretty happy with what they've got to go with. Jeter was off in the regular season. I think I remember where he was not very good at all in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's been smashing the ball.
Well, I have a stat for you.
Can't wait for this stat.
So, Ohio State has won 6 straight games in the series.
Okay.
They've met 8 times.
This is why you did this right here to me. I'm breaking down the roster.
The last time Ohio State lost to Notre Dame, it was Halloween of 1936.
Where were you then?
My grandparents were 6.
Were 6?
My 6.
Oh.
6 years old. Notre Dame won on that day 7-2.
Are they both the same age?
In South Bend, they were about a month apart.
Okay.
I say were because. And
they're not here anymore.
They met twice in the Fiesta Bowl, and both were won by Ohio State.
Okay.
So, no. But Notre Dame has won a game in Columbus back in 1935.
Where were you then?
Again, not born.
William, you better not think I was born then.
I mean,
I'm on 40. All in all, what do you think? What do you expect tonight? Do you expect a blowout game? Do you expect a close game? Do you expect a nail biter down to the end? I hope it's a nail biter.
I would love a nail biter. Don't get me wrong.
I want a high scoring nail biter.
I want a high scoring nail biter as well. I could see Ohio State also blowing them out. If Ohio State can go from the word go, jump off, start strong, like they've been doing all tournament, this game will be over by halftime.
Right. I'm going to tell you what I think keeps that from happening is Notre Dame's defense.
Notre Dame's defense
has been great.
It's a lot better than I think people want to give them credit for.
And they did a great year. They didn't really have a bad game except for against USC. And that's pretty impressive to have, what's that, 14 good games or great games and one bad one? That's pretty good. You're going to have a bad one every year. You're not going to have a perfect year unless you're the 85 Bears or something like that.
Nope. 85 Bears did not go undefeated.
Well, I'm saying the defense had a perfect game every game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to have a perfect defensive game unless you're a great, great defense. And neither one of these teams are a great, great defense. All-time great defense. They're pretty good, but really, it's the luck of the draw that they get still in the playoffs.
Yes.
Because they wouldn't be in the playoffs last year. Neither one of them would be.
No. I am trying to see. So kickoff is supposedly at 7:30 tonight.
Are you having pizza tonight?
I'm having pizza.
This guy last week said, I'm going to buy you pizza next week. Blake, we're going to have pizza. And this today he says, I got to go to school early tomorrow morning. You know how many hours of school he's got tomorrow? 1. Okay, how many?
3.
Not even contemplating how many hours, what time I got to get up in the morning.
Not gonna hear rah 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 when you wake up in the morning either. So
That girl might be going row when I wake up in the morning.
whoa!
What just happened?
That just went off the rails.
So
Predictions.
finally we get to the predictions.
Yes.
I see something you got laying over there.
Nothing. Nothing.
I'm afraid we're going to hear that song again.
What's up?
Well, your little thing you normally do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we're going to hear it in a minute. But by the way, is it warm outside or cold outside today?
It's pretty cool.
It's a cold day in Greensboro, North Carolina today. But my prediction is Ohio State, because of their wide receiving core, explosive plays, they're going to have more explosive plays than Notre Dame. The final score, Notre Dame in Ohio State 24, Notre Dame 17. To win their what? I heard it was the 8th title now. And you said the last week 9. I heard 7 earlier this week, so I don't know how they go.
What'd you say? What'd you have? OSU what?
24-17 Buckeyes.
So the spread is now Ohio State -9. So you're going the under.
The spread is 9.
Yep, in favor of Ohio State -9.
I'm going the under. I'm going to do that one. I'm actually going to go on FanDuel when we're done here and put $7 on the game. And I'm probably going to go the under now. 9's a lot of points. Go ahead.
Well, with that being said,
Go ahead and crank up your voice.
I think.
Oh no, he kicked off the Tennessee hat. Why you gotta do that? You can't do that to your own. Now you jinx next year. You just jinx next year by doing that. You better kiss that hat before you're done. I'm serious.
I will.
You better kiss it.
Said it all year. All playoff long.
You said it all year. You did not say it all year. Don't even try to convince these great fans of ours, the 400 viewers we get a week. That is, thank you for viewing our podcast, by the way. 400 people last week viewed the Chop on the Top on Facebook. How do you think about that one?
Oh, it feels good. Feels good.
Thanks to Doug for helping us out.
Kind of like my hair. It's good looking.
Well, I should have got a haircut today. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow.
I'm supposed to get one pretty soon myself, actually. But here we go. Here come the Irish.
They probably all fought for this because we could have beat them in South End.
Notre Dame.
He's got to kiss that hat because he's jinxed it next year.
You're right.
Not that hat.
I am going with
He
Notre
just kissed
Dame.
the Irish hats.
I'm going with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I think it's actually going to be a lot closer.
Well, 7 points is pretty close.
Oh, I'm going lower than that.
That's what we hope.
I am going with Notre Dame 30-28.
Okay. That's an interesting score. You think Jeter's going to hit a walk-off field goal?
I don't know if it's going to be a walk-off, but Jeter will make a difference.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll have all kickers in any big game that we ever think of have had a difference in that game. There's no doubt about it.
I think there's one thing we are forgetting to mention, though.
Cannot wait for this.
Have you noticed recently that the National Championship games have been kind of snooze fest?
See, what was last year?
Exactly.
Who was it?
Michigan beat Washington.
By a lot?
I don't even remember the score. I barely remember watching it.
I'm trying to think. If that's the case, then that would be 2 years now at least. Georgia beat.
Georgia destroyed TCU the year before.
Yeah, and then before that, I can't remember who they beat. Alabama. That was a good game.
Alabama. That was the last good quality.
It's only been 3 years. That's not horrible.
Let's see. No, they actually destroyed. Okay, so.
Well, you're right. They did kind of technically. For Alabama, that's destroying. They don't expect that.
And then Alabama destroyed. I mean, the last one score national championship game was that 2018 one when.
Yeah. Okay. Alabama and Georgia.
One of the walk-off touchdown.
Right. So there you go. There's your answer. I mean, I think we're going to have a good one. We always.
We do.
I don't want to sit there. I would get to leave early if I do that. But if I don't want to sit at Kickback Jacks tonight for watching a blowout, which salute to Kickback Jacks.
Absolutely.
At High Point, Greensboro.
Absolutely.
If you want a good place to eat.
Hell yeah.
Head on over to kickbacks. Hello, Brooklyn.
Hello, everyone. With that being said, fine, I will kiss the hat.
You better kiss it, because it's going to be a jinx for next year if you don't.
Do I kiss the logo or the hat in general?
Just the hat. Next year, and also the thing we're thinking about doing, headed to the off season, is we're going to start breaking down schedules of the big conferences again. Maybe one team at a time. I don't know. Get really in depth with it, and just trying to figure. Y'all give us some ideas of what y'all want to see as the off season appears here after this show tonight.
Absolutely.
And now let's talk about the transfer portal. Now, going over to the 2020, our website will be 24/7. For the transfer portal. I think they're the most accurate, other than ESPN, but I don't really want to use ESPN. All right, let's go with the teams first.
One big transfer today that really irked me.
Not irked.
Harrison Bailey, the former Tennessee player, is going to Florida, and he's going to his
Gators.
He's going to his fourth school.
Yeah, well, that's going to be. It won't be. Don't get used to that. That's going to happen a whole lot.
I think it's so dumb. LSU is still number one.
Which Texas Tech being number 3 still kind of
surprises me.
Kind of weird there, but they're in the midst of all them other big schools except for Kentucky at number 6. And look who they're at number 7, the Florida State Seminoles. And we're not done. I mean, we got a whole other portal left to go. You realize we're not even going to do a spring game this year, Florida State?
Yeah, because y'all are renovating the stadium.
Right, which is whatever. I like spring games. It gives us something to look forward to in the middle of the off season. But I also get what he's doing. He's going to let it be the Alabama game when they unleash the new stadium. Look, so I like it.
What do you thought of the new stadium?
Look at that, 101.
We were getting ready for the playoffs.
We've been done for a month now. What are y'all doing down there in Tennessee?
We got Star Thomas. Wendell Moe Jr.
Wendell Moe.
And Amari Jefferson from Alabama.
Yeah. We got one of y'all's players. Squirrel White, baby.
Squirrel up. Gaston Moore's still looking for. I thought the portal closed already.
Well.
Or does it ever close?
Doesn't matter.
Really? No, nobody cares.
It's not, you can't, what are you going to punish? Who are you going to punish? I mean, it's not a professional league.
Or is it one of those if you can't enter once it's closed, but you're still allowed to find it?
Look at all them teams ahead of Tennessee in the recruiting. Western Kentucky's ahead of Tennessee in recruiting and transfer portal.
Nobody cares.
All right, let's go down the top 10. Did we name all the top 10? Alabama at 24. That's kind of an interesting spot.
Number 10, Nebraska.
They lost some people too. So yeah. What that means is Rule is really doing a good job out there. I don't think they're going to fall off too far from this year. Yep. What's their ceiling now? Do you have an idea of Nebraska?
I can't get a read on them.
They got a quarterback.
I feel like if we give them any hope or any expectation, they'll screw it up.
Right. Then Missouri at number 9. I mean, that's pretty good, but
that's not a bad.
Are they ever going to win the SEC?
No,
I don't think so either.
Not in this era of college football.
What about A&M?
A&M is NC State with oil money.
You think they're NC State?
With oil money.
I think now, with the SEC, they're going to be better. Elko's a great coach. Elko gives them 8 wins automatically every year.
I say what I said.
And they almost went to the title game this year. That's impressive. And of course, my team, Florida State. We'll get to that later on. We don't have to get into it tonight. I think what we can say, I'm telling you right now, Mike Norville has went to work. You can tell how people about his players because he was at the Eagle game last night, Eagle and Ram game. You realize the only team that did not have a Florida State player from the national championship team that people stole from us is the Ravens. They didn't have a Florida State player on the team, and they lost. Did you see Jared Verse in the playoff game? Yeah, he pretty much dominated. They lost, but he dominated. Look at all them great players they got. I think Deuce is at Florida State. I think Deuce Robinson is going to be the number 1 player that we got from the portal when we get done with next season.
Probably.
And Thomas Cassiano, of course.
Yep.
The offensive line is much improved. They're much improved. Great job by our new offensive coordinator and our offensive line coach. And Mike Noble has gone to work, and we're not done. We still got another portal to go.
Let's see. Number 6 is Kentucky.
Which I don't know how real that is. Do we get excited for that? Because they gotta also have talent that's already there. They don't have talent that's already there.
They're a mess.
And in Miami, they got there because of what's the guy quarterback's name? Beck. And we're going to get down to as we go through the off season. We're going to get into this, but I don't think Miami is going to be better than they were last year.
No, Beck is not Cam Ward.
No, Cam Ward is going to be a very good pro, I believe. Beck is going to be done this year, coming year.
Yeah.
The only thing he's doing well for his future is Haley Cavender. And if you got her, you're doing pretty good.
Yes. Number 4, you got Auburn.
Auburn is Freeze is doing a good job.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to push. Eventually, the dam is going to break, in my opinion, down there.
As in, he will get fired, or
no? They're going to. I think he learned his lesson on that part. I don't think you're going to repeat that twice.
We'll see.
Especially after the punishment he got. He ended up not even coming back and then going to Liberty's not a punishment no more because they're a great athletic program. You seen their basketball team? It's pretty good. And then we got Texas Tech. 17. How many 5-star they got? Zero. Oh. Then LSU and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is always in the top.
Yeah.
Top 5 in transfer portal recruiting. So the most impressive to me out of the top 10 of those is still, I'm going to say Florida State.
I was going to say Kentucky.
Because I think two losses is not even going to be close to possible this year. We'll get to that later on in the wintertime of this spring.
We'll see.
Yep. All right. On to the NFL. What a great weekend of NFL football. We're down to the AFC, NFC title games. This past weekend, we had some pretty good games. On Saturday night, your Kansas City Chiefs, I'm messing with you, and the Houston Texans. You think anybody's going to beat Kansas City?
What if they made a deal with the devil? Do you not understand?
I mean, we'll get to who they play next week in a minute in the game. Break down the game for a minute. But, I mean, Kansas City, it seems like when they're playing at home, it's kind of like there's no way you can beat them there.
You can't beat the refs either.
Yes, but when you earn the right to have the fear of the whole league almost, not fear, but knowing when you're coming into their place is kind of like coming into the Foxborough for 20 years, those 20 years, whatever it was.
They get calls that we would never get.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that. I'm not going to go there. We got some calls. I remember that. But I was there. I watched every game like you watched every game.
Not as frequently as they do.
Well, I mean, a lot of people can argue that. And you have to admit we did get calls.
We did.
Yes.
But we didn't get them nearly as frequently as they've been getting.
Right. And then, but Kansas City won 23-14. Oh, yeah. Did you know what the spread was in that game?
No.
9.5. Look at his final score. Did you see what they did at the end?
Whoops.
Why they did that? Do you see what they did?
I turned it off.
They ran a punt, and the punter ran out of the back of the end zone to give Texans 14 points, so it got under the spread.
Nice.
How many people were pissed off about that? Probably a good amount. That's people's money.
Exactly.
You think Kansas City knew that and did it on purpose?
No.
Then we had on Saturday night, which is a shock
of the weekend.
But if you understand what Washington's been doing as a franchise, you kind of understand why they're this good. But they beat the Detroit Lions, the number 1 seed in Detroit, 45-31.
I mean, I was impressed.
I mean, it's unbelievable what Jalen Daniels has done. And then what's more impressive is the Florida State defense in 2023 and 22, the last teams to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
You don't agree? It's the truth.
I mean, I'm not.
We've shut him down twice.
How'd that work out for you?
What do you mean? We won both games.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? Don't make me strangle you right now.
Don't make me go back to old news.
What's old news?
That's old news.
Right, but it's not. It's relevant.
Let's see.
Would you agree with that?
Going on to Sunday's games.
You got any thoughts on those 2 games?
In the snow. I enjoyed watching the game in the snow.
Okay, that's a great thought for a podcast.
Yes.
And then we have the Los Angeles Rams went to Philadelphia in the snow again, and the Eagles snuck it out. The Rams were on a drive late in the game. They got inside the 20?
I think so, yeah.
And they almost went home with it, but I thought the Rams did a great job. No one probably thought they'd get that kind of push what they did, but the Eagles defense and I guess running game with Barkley set them apart.
Boy, every week that passes, the Giants look dumber and dumber.
Which one are they? Jeff Daniels or Jim Carrey?
Both. Both.
So you're telling me there's a chance
that the Giants are idiots? Yes.
There's a big chance of that.
The fact that they let this man walk.
If we got time, I'm going to go over something at the end of this.
Paid Daniel Jones.
This is going to be a point out to this man right here. You'll see it in a little while. If we get to it.
All right.
And then we had the Buffalo Bills and my friends Jim and Paul. Did not have a good night last night. I saw Jim today. I did not even bring it up. I didn't want to even talk about it. I know how I got when my teams lose. Definitely don't want to,
stir the pot.
Don't want to stir the pot. I know how he is. I'm sure they're disappointed. But I thought, you may disagree with this, Jackson played the best second half of football he's ever played.
Yes.
And Andrews screwed it up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times you put the blame on the quarterback. There's no blame you can put on the quarterback for that. If the thing about it is, you've got to catch the football. The fumble is one thing. That's erased because they made the drive and put it within 2 points. But if you catch the football, you're going to score. There's nobody around you. Instead of, he's a veteran. You just know this by now.
Yep.
And you got to catch the ball. He's already in the end zone.
Yep.
And that's how great Rob Gronkowski is. Name me one time you remember where Rob did that. Funk dropped a big pass, and didn't secure it before he ran.
Nope.
Never one time. I looked it up, the stat. How many fumbles he had in his career?
Not many.
5. In his 12-year career, whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
So what a interesting moment that was. I felt so bad for what's his first name? Lamar Jackson. I felt so bad for him, and a lot of people gave him a hard time. But there's no way you can give him a hard time from that game yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
And then Josh Allen only had 127-yard passing. So really, he didn't have to be put in that situation.
Yeah, no.
But this week you will. Would you agree?
Yes. But he didn't turn the ball over.
Right, but I'm saying he'll have to throw for about 300 yards this week.
No.
He's not?
Oh, no. This week, maybe, yeah.
Some in-depth. This is some in-depth analysis from William tonight. You awake over here?
Barely.
You're on the TV. You're on a podcast.
Barely.
Wake your ass up! God, boy, am I carrying this on my own? It's like 100-pound weight on my back, and his name is William.
I'll be 160, thank you.
Make 160. All right, moving on to the NFC, AFC title games. Let's see if I can get more than that's right, Blake. In this.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. You're right, Blake. You're right, Excalibur. Just call me JR from now on. You're right, JR, and you're Tony Schiavone. Good luck, JR. Congratulations, JR. But here we go. All right, so Washington and Pittsburgh. Washington and Philadelphia.
Oh, but I'm the one that looks asleep.
No, you are asleep. But anyway, Washington and Philadelphia. This is actually I like the rivalry scenario about this.
Oh, I do too.
Really, both games are rivals. Because Buffalo is really, is it a rivalry because Buffalo hasn't won yet, though?
Mm-hmm.
Is that make it still a rival? I think if you hadn't beat the team yet, it's not a rival yet.
Give or take.
Which is how
it's in the makings of.
It can be. I'm looking forward to both games. The first game, Washington versus Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Probably the weather's going to be bad again, or at least cold. My thought is I think Washington is more of a complete team than Philadelphia overall.
Oh, absolutely. I think also, if you think about it, Washington's just playing with house money.
Yes. And I don't think the road game is going to be as big a deal as you may think. He's already been on the road twice in playoffs and played great both times. Jalen Daniels.
It looks like it'll be about 38 degrees at kickoff.
Well, that's not too bad for this time of year in Philadelphia. That's like a 50-degree day, probably.
On the streets of Philadelphia.
Right. Do we have a breakdown of the game? I don't think I didn't ask for nobody to sing. This is not a singing podcast.
I think the Commanders will win.
Man, what a beautiful
Oh,
voice.
so this isn't us. Okay.
What a beautiful voice from the Angel of William.
Thank you. No, in all seriousness,
Please be serious.
Washington's playing with house money. They basically have nothing to lose. It's their first title game since the 90s. I think they can get it done. I think
you're supposed to know this. It's the same title game. Well, no, they played Detroit.
Yeah, they played Detroit, that one. Exactly. Who's the asleep one now?
I thought I had a great point. I was so excited to say it.
Wake up.
Wake up, you son of a bitch!
Whoa.
I was talking to myself.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so you got in the first game. I got Washington. Final score, 35-28. I think we had a high-scoring game. No, it's going to be, is the weather going to be rainy or sunny?
Cloudy.
Cloudy. So I'll say pretty high scoring. 31-24, Washington. The Washington Redskins going to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1991.
The Commanders are going to get it done.
A trivia question. Who was the quarterback for Washington in 1991?
Theismann.
No, Mark Ripton.
Theismann was a good guess.
Yeah, that was in the 70s.
Damn.
Well, early 80s.
Damn.
Maybe a little off from years.
With that being said, I think this Jaden Daniels-led team will get it done.
Get her done.
31-27.
Okay. Similar score. Both of us picked Washington.
Yep.
Then in the other game, it's Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. I know what William's probably going to say. The referees are going to win. But
you've seen the memes.
Well, I mean, I already know what you're going to say when you say it. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Pat Mahomes is a great quarterback. He is a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer today without having to play any more games the rest of his career. And then, of course, so is Travis Kelce. And, of course, so is Taylor Swift. Anyway. But to me, I think Buffalo is almost ready. They almost did it, 2 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and they almost pulled it off 2 years ago. But I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go there this year. I still feel, I know it's tough to win 3 straight because it's not been done many times in any sport. A lot. I wonder how many times it's actually been done in another sport. That's going to be hard to find out. In the overall, for the Yankees to the Bulls twice, the Lakers one time, Boston did it in the 60s in basketball. Other than that, really. And then, I mean, if you count hockey, what, did the Kings do it with Gretzky?
Nah, Kings only have 2.
Oh, okay. So how many teams do you think won in hockey 3 times? Are you looking at the aces?
The Lakers did it once.
Oh, yeah.
The Yankees once.
No, they didn't more than once. The 20s.
Oh, I'm going with what the ESPN said. And
sure, ESPN.
They
won like 7 in a row in the 20s. I think they did it again in the 40s, 50s.
Probably.
The Yankees they won 27, so you have to have some of them in a long run to have 27. And then probably some other teams. But I believe I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs because Pat Mahomes is the quarterback. And also I believe Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over somewhere in there, which is something he's not done in the playoffs yet, turn the ball over. But I'm going to go, no, the Lakers didn't do it. You're wrong arrow. Kansas City 45, Buffalo 42 in a high scoring, knockdown, back and forth offensive affair.
I think Buffalo gets it done. I think America's getting sick of the Chiefs.
So you have a rematch? The 91 Super Bowl?
I think so. I'm going with the.
You're not going to have a breakdown of the game?
Oh, I want a breakdown. I think that.
Collect your thoughts, William. Collect your thoughts.
Josh Allen's going to play lights out. I think he is out for vengeance.
Vengeance is mine, said Josh Allen.
I think he said, this is my turn. It is my time. He's going to go out there and ball out.
Okay.
I think Buffalo is tired of losing. I think Buffalo is tired of losing to Kansas City.
Okay.
And I think this is the year they get it done. Give me the Bills, because nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
Really? Okay. What's your final score?
I'm going with 35-21.
Nice. All right. There's your football breakdown. And now the college basketball. Do we really need to talk about this? How about them Tar Heels?
Being in the dumps. But so is Tennessee right now.
No, y'all are going to be right there when it all comes down to it. But Carolina lost to beat California on Wednesday night. Then they lost to Stanford by 1 at home. And what? You didn't know that, did you? Did you not know that till now?
You lost to some trees.
Yeah, we don't like trees.
No, more like the trees don't like you.
Then this week we go to Wake Forest tomorrow night, which is not good by any stretch.
Well, you losing that one.
And I may be in the building for that game.
Ladies and gentlemen, he will be in the building. Let's not lie to our small children.
No, I mean it's I'm not going by myself, but I'm thinking about going to the Carolina Wake Forest game tomorrow night. But I don't know if Carolina can beat Wake Forest, which I hate to say it like that. So I've got Carolina losing to Wake after a bad loss at home the other night on Saturday afternoon against Stanford. And then this weekend we got Boston College at home, so hopefully we can win that game.
So Wake actually welcomes both Duke and North Carolina this week. Because Duke only has the one game on Saturday against.
That's a tough one. That's a tough homestand. Look at that stretch. They got probably the best three teams in the two of the best teams in the ACC, Duke and Louisville. Louisville is a great duels come up.
And a mediocre Carolina team.
Yeah, more like negative mediocre.
My buddy said they actually played their way out of the tournament yesterday. My buddy Andy said Carolina did.
No, they're still in the tournament. In the bracketology, they still got 11 or 12 seed.
I think they missed the tournament.
Well, it depends on what they do coming forward. I mean, still got plenty of time. It's not like they're to make the tournament. They got plenty of time.
Okay, let me put it this way. I think they have to win the ACC to make it now.
No, they win every game. They beat Duke twice. They're going to win the ACC.
No, you're not beating.
Well, I'm saying that's not what I asked you. That's not how I asked it. So now you're making it like I asked you like that. They're not. If they beat Duke twice, what do you think?
They still need to win the ACC.
What? You okay over here?
I'm good.
This man right here said if Carolina beats Duke, which means they're going to win other games too. Carolina's going to beat Duke twice in the regular season. They have to win the ACC. He's smoking something over here.
I said what I said.
Well, you're wrong.
And I think Tennessee's going to pull a big upset this weekend because they're angry.
Who they play?
They're going to go beat Auburn.
They play Mississippi. Don't look past Mississippi State tomorrow night. That's a tough game at home. Mississippi State's playing some good ball.
Oh, I think
look at the standings in the SEC, which is it's a fun conference. I love that conference.
It is a very fun conference. Duke is still on top.
I said SEC.
I'm just pointing the facts out, Your Honor.
We'll go back to that. So look at that conference though. It's like almost like college football. The worst team in the conference is it's above 500 and it's South Carolina, which is they're not a horrible team. Tennessee's falling down a little bit.
We're gonna get it together.
That's what you hope. This weekend is Tennessee and Auburn. Where's that game being played at?
Auburn.
Oof, down on the plains of Alabama.
I think we'll still get it done. But as for this week, in top 25,
the big conference. Not a lot of top 25 games tomorrow.
There's one ranked matchup.
Tennessee and Mississippi State.
Yep.
I'm going for the Vols.
Wisconsin goes to UCLA. That'll be interesting at Poly.
That's a weird conference game. One of them. I still ain't used to it.
Yeah.
These weird match. Wisconsin UCLA is a conference game. That's just hard to get on my mind around.
Texas A&M goes to Ole Miss. Yeah. On Wednesday. Thursday, Maryland goes to Illinois.
Okay.
Oh, Friday night's Michigan Purdue. That'll be
It's
interesting.
messed up. I got Purdue in that one.
That'll be a tussle.
That's on Fox.
Oh,
Big Saturday.
big
The
one.
last Saturday in January.
Yes.
Do I gotta keep the whole show over here? This man had to think about it. It's January 25th. How many days are between the next? How many days in a week, Doug? I call you Doug. William. How many days are in a week?
It's the next to last weekend.
How many days are in a week?
7.
Okay. How many days between? How many? It's 25th day of each month. How can there be any more Saturdays in that month?
I'm messing with them.
You are not. You did that on purpose.
Yes.
Don't lie to people. These people read right through your lies. What did you have before you came on the show? Sleeping pills?
Yes. I think I took the rotten tea.
Sipping the tea, dog, with a little something else extra in it.
Let's see. Saturday, Texas A&M goes to Texas. That's trap game.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Does
Texas is all right.
Does that have trap game written on?
Texas is pretty good at home. They beat y'all, didn't they? In Austin.
We'll talk about that.
Well,
Let's
good.
see.
By the way, what's your favorite team more, Duke or Tennessee?
Duke for basketball.
So what? Okay. All right, we'll go to ACC.
Let's see. Florida plays Georgia at Gainesville.
Georgia's had a pretty good run of it lately. They beat who did they beat this weekend? They screwed me out of money, that's for sure. I'm actually in FanDuel. I'm back in my money now.
Let's see.
I was at 9-4 overall, and now I'm 12-11.
Nice.
Why are you saying nice?
Being sarcastic.
This guy's just. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
Let's see. Duke goes to Wake this weekend.
Yes.
Is that a trap game?
It's not really a trap. Wake Forest is really good.
But could you see them pulling the upset?
Yes, I think they will. Maybe one Duke game where they fall back to normalcy.
Kansas plays Houston. That'll be a good fun one.
I'm going Houston on that one.
Go to Houston as well. Alabama, LSU. Come on, Tigers.
Yeah. Tennessee at Auburn. Like we said before, I got Tennessee winning that one to make up for. Because Auburn cost me some money and going to. I'm about to take Tennessee one time. Maybe they'll give me some money.
Yes. Good man, Charlie Brown.
I'm looking at the Sunday's schedule, which is probably not going to be very heavy because of the title games. You don't want to run up against the SEC, the NFL title games.
Illinois Northwestern should be a good one.
Should it?
From Champaign.
All right.
You had three rivalry games. You had the Battle of Bones, UAB, Memphis. That's always a good one.
You think Nebraska and Wisconsin's a rivalry game?
Yeah. Oh. They play for a trophy in football.
They do. Well, it's not football. Not football.
I know, but I'm just saying
Right.
It is a rivalry of Wisconsin. Is Nebraska.
Nebraska. Let's go look at the ACC standings now, since we're in the ACC footprint, which is probably the widest footprint of all of them now. No, it's actually tied between Big Ten and the ACC. Duke's sitting on top of the world, but then you got Clemson, Louisville, and Wake Forest. I think still all could win the regular season because they're all pretty good teams. Once Duke plays them, I think they every year Duke gets the back half of their schedule loaded. So right now they're playing some of the lower teams in the ACC. And then, of course, next Saturday they won't be playing them. But on Saturday they play Wake Forest. The next Saturday they play Duke, which Carolina, depending on how you look at that.
Oh, yeah.
And between then, I'm not sure if they play. They don't play anybody early this week, but I'll see who they play next
this week. They don't play anybody this week.
Who they play next weekend. During the week next week. NC State. So they got Wake Forest, State, and Carolina the next 3 games. But NC State's trash, so they'll probably blow the doors off the State. And Carolina at Cameron.
And they'll damn sure blow the doors off of
Watch yourself.
At Cameron.
Oh, look them blow the doors off.
Blow y'all's doors off.
You want to make a bet? $1 wager?
No, I'm good.
This is the $1. I forgot my money last week. What did you do with it?
There's a coin cup right there.
And then the last thing I want to bring up today is, do we think the MLB baseball, obviously it's baseball, you think MLB needs a salary cap?
I think they need a salary
adjustment. Some kind of adjustment, because what the Dodgers are doing right now, and Doug's going to love this when he goes back and watch our podcast, but he's going to love this, but And we talked about this the other day, me and Doug did. I think it's a shame that they're able just to go pluck team players right now. After they already got how many players do you need?
I think what I'm more upset about when it comes to the Dodgers, I think the one thing they need to crack down on is the deferred money.
No pun intended on the crack.
Oh, absolutely. I think you shouldn't be allowed to defer money.
Okay, me either.
Like, I think if you're going to pay Shohei Ohtani $700 million, you should get all $700 million during the length of the contract.
What if he agrees to? What if it's his decision? Well, it's like Tom Brady when he deferred money. Is it here? Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to outbite me,
Well,
dog.
I mean,
But are we wrong?
No, I think it's not right that a team continues to sign big contracts and big contracts and big contracts every year to somebody. The Yankees are the same way. The Mets are the same way. Some.
Wish the Red Sox would spend money.
Well, they probably got some. I don't know why they don't spend it.
Because John Henry's a...
That makes no sense why teams don't just spend money. Is there any reason why the Braves don't? Well, the Braves did at one point, but they haven't done it in a while.
Because they're saying with me, cheap.
Yeah, but
the ownership is cheap.
We don't have an ownership.
So
what we've done is pretty impressive. So we have not had a true owner since Ted Turner.
Isn't it Liberty Media now?
Yeah, which don't count.
But whoever is in charge, whoever controls
I think
the
the main guy's
checkbook.
name. I know the guy's name, but I can't think of it.
But you get the point.
Yeah. It won't be long in baseball season.
And while we're on that note, rest in peace to Mr. Baseball.
Right, Bob Uecker. And that's what I was going to mention on the wrestling podcast that we had today. We'll remember that. Him and I don't think of the other guy's name.
Wisconsin Summers will never be the same.
Absolutely not. What a icon. He played catcher for the Braves.
You cannot tell the story of baseball without.
Oh, you got to have the story. Absolutely.
Up Uecker.
You're not ready to cry.
I'm from Wisconsin. That man is on the Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin sports.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Who is the Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin sports while we got a little time?
Here we go.
Brett Favre.
Yep, Uecker.
What's his name? Giannis on there yet?
Giannis. I'd put him right up there.
Who's Giannis?
Giannis. No, it's pronounced Giannis. It's pronounced Yanni. Yanni Atantekupo in the Greek. In Hellenic.
Who else coming? Okay, I'm going to go. How many need?
Four.
I got Brett Favre, Bob Uecker. I think if I remember. Anybody from Wisconsin sports ever been that good?
Barry Alvarez.
On the Mount Rushmore? Wisconsin sports?
Yeah, Badgers.
We said Wisconsin. We didn't say school.
You said Wisconsin sports. That's a Wisconsin sports team.
All right, you're forgetting Bart Starr. Bart Starr. And what's the running back?
Dorsey Levens?
No. Go ahead, talk.
No, I think you got to put Uecker up there. You got to definitely put Brett Favre or Bart Starr up there. Probably put Barry Alvarez as a coach.
Giannis is up there.
Giannis is probably, that would be.
Well, obviously, no. This is it. I know all. Uecker, Lombardi, Starr, and Favre.
Yes.
Is it okay it's okay not to have two of them be not these players? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Uecker being up there. Man, any broadcaster like the Braves, we're not the Braves without Ernie Johnson. We're not the Braves without Pete Van Wieren and Skip Carey. Without those three broadcasters, I understand when he's talking about those two guys. I got to hear Skip Carey's last radio call, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I mean when I have the MLB package, I'd rather listen to Brewers games so I can listen to Uecker.
Did he call the last game last year?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
And I listened to it, not thinking it was going to be his last.
And you never know. I kind of knew Skip was gone. He was sick, but Uecker, you had no idea. I didn't know he was sick. Was it sick or natural causes?
I think it was both.
How can it be both?
I think it was a little bit of both.
How can it be both?
Like, I think he was sick, but I don't think it actually killed him.
Okay. I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to make sense out of the situation. Golly, he said natural causes and sick.
Well, I mean, he had been ill for a long time, but I'm not sure if the illness killed them or not.
I'm gonna let you pass because it's your buddy. I'm trying to think about it like that. Yeah, what you know what we should do? Every state, we're doing Mount Rushmore in every state starting next week.
Deal.
That's about a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
So what state you want? Let's do A, alphabetical order.
Alabama.
I don't think that's not. That'd be hard. Not real hard because I'll be Alabama players. Sorry, Homer.
It'd be Auburn and maybe a few. Oh, so what are the criteria? Do they have to play for the team in the state?
Anybody, anything you think makes that place the biggest place you can think of. Okay. I bet Doug will love this. I don't know if he heard that or not. That's probably one of his. We got to tell Doug that. Next week on Chop on the Top, we're starting off with whatever the number one A is in the America. We're going to go from A to Z in the Mount Rushmore's. Yes, Mount Rushmore of Hawaii is going to be tough. Alaska. Well, how about this? Screw Alaska. Well, I'm going to talk about Alaska. I couldn't even know where to start there. Well, I guess we can go there. I guess if you want to go to Alaska,
we can figure out some athletes from Alaska.
Oh God. Trajan Langdon.
Yep.
If he's born in Alaska, he counts.
Yep.
Because nobody else you can do that. There's no players in Alaska that played sports in Alaska. So Trajan Langdon's going to be on the list. Congratulations, you do play full. All right. Some good idea for next week. And we had a great show tonight.
Yes, we did.
And everybody view it on Facebook.
Yep.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram. What's our thing on Instagram?
_ Chop on the Top.
Okay, that's nice. Another great night of the podcast.
Yes.
Blake and William.
And we will see you in a week.
Go Noles.
Go Noles. Go Devils.
Yeah.
Man.